A week ago tonight, on this stage, stood the mother and father of Michael Brown from Ferguson, stood the domestic partner and mother of the child of a young man killed in the pink houses in Brooklyn, New York, Mr. Gurley, who will not even be funeralized till Friday night. We've not even had the chance to bury him. They joined the mother and wife of Eric Garner. We are dealing with a national crisis where in the last 90 days, from those 3 cases to a 12-year-old boy in Cleveland whose funeral was just today, how many people have to die before people understand this is not an illusion? This is a reality that America has got to come to terms with. And no amount of secret grand juries with local prosecutors that put up evidence that we do not know is going to stop people from raising the questions and demanding the answers. We are not advocating violence. We are asking that police violence stop.
That's right. That's right.
Don't make the kids or the adults that are protesting the one wrong. We are marching against wrong. We are standing against wrong. And here you now have a man choked to death on videotape and says 11 times, "I can't breathe." It is against the police department's guidelines to have a chokehold. It is against the law to have excessive force. But if you are choking a man who is down with other police helping and hovering over him, even if the guidelines don't kick in your mind, even if the law don't kick on your mind, after 11 times of "I can't breathe," when does your humanity kick in? We have called on, from the beginning, the federal government to intervene in police cases. We have no confidence in local state prosecutions because state prosecutors work hand in hand with the local police. They do not have the independence and lack of conflict. This is not a position we are taking tonight. We said this from the beginning. The mother and wife of Eric Garner and the attorneys and I have had 2 meetings with the federal government and the Eastern District and at press conferences at both times. So you know we've asked for this. That's right. We've asked for this now nationally because of Ferguson, because of Cleveland, and here. I was in the meeting at the White House with the president as they began moving. The Attorney General talked with Mrs. Garner and me today. They've talked about an independent investigation. But let's be clear. Let's be clear that while we ask for the federal government to move, we are moving that way. On Saturday, a week from this Saturday, December 13th, we are having a national march in Washington, D.C., where we are calling for the Justice Department to take this case and the case in Ferguson and the case in Cleveland. It is time for a national march to deal with a national crisis. Why a national march? Because if we cannot be put around like social hamsters. 1 minute Ferguson, next minute New York, next minute Cleveland. No, we're going to bring Ferguson, Cleveland, and all of New York to the nation's capital.
That's right.
To say enough is enough. This Saturday, there'll be funeralizing former D.C. Mayor Marion Barry. So we will wait 1 week, but we'll use every day to organize. Tomorrow morning, the presidents of civil rights organizations, the head of the Urban League and others will be meeting here with us as we plan this march. And we intend to organize until there is a direct move for justice. The precedent for this is Abner Louima. The federal government took that case, and that policeman, 17 years, is still in jail tonight.
That's right.
Wait a minute, bro. Wait, brother. We're not going to have no provocateurs now. We're going to do a press conference. Anthony Baez, same thing. Rodney King, same thing. So there's a legal precedent of excessive force. So the direct action will be that. This weekend, Friday, we will have the funeral of Mr. Gurley, and we will organize throughout the weekend. I'm going to hit the road. We talked, the mother and I, with Puffy Combs a few minutes ago to get the hip-hop community in. I'm doing some meetings. I had already been scheduled to be in California this weekend. I'm going to continue that trip because I want to get some of the entertainers in. We are not going away. It will not get too cold. It will not snow too high. This is going to be a winter that we're going to freeze out police brutality in this country.
Right.
Eric Garner, Michael Brown, enough is enough. We started with unity on this stage last Wednesday. The march next Saturday will be led by the parents of Michael Brown, by the mother and wife of Eric Garner, by the Gurley family. Yes, a lot of people may not like some of those that lead this fight, but look beyond your likes and dislikes and explain how we live in a nation where even with a videotape, using practices that are against guidelines, that they can't even find reckless endangerment. That's why state grand juries are not something that we can put any faith in. But we have no choice but to keep on fighting, because it could be your child or mine. The question is not, will we continue? We must continue. And I hasten to add, there are many from different philosophies and different politics, different religions. The families have all said that all of our protests, we want to not have violence or inflict pain on others. You take away the dignity and you give the wrong depiction of the deceased. Eric Garner was not doing anything violent. Michael Brown was not doing anything violent. That 12-year-old kid was playing with a toy gun, something we all did. This young man in Brooklyn, Gurley, was coming down the stairs that were dark. They were dark because the city didn't fit the lights, and the elevator didn't work. So don't act like these are looters and thugs. There are some that take advantage of protests. They're not the protesters. There's a difference between activists and anarchists. Anarchists want to prove that the system can't work. Activists is going to make the system change to work. We changed America from the back of the bus to the White House. And we're going to change America to where police serve the community and not above the law, but they enforce the law. We are not against all police, but those that break the law should pay